Saving money shouldn't feel like you're throwing your money away. But sometimes that's exactly how we feel, especially when you're torn between saving for the future and enjoying life right now. For many of us, saving causes stress and guilt, especially when we fall short of our goals. So what happens? We avoid it altogether. But here's the big question. Is it really about choosing happiness now versus happiness later? Or is there a way to have both? Hey everyone, I'm Rose Colburn, and in this video, we're going to uncover 3 surprising reasons why saving money feels so difficult, and they have nothing to do with willpower. Today, we'll explore how your brain works against you, how society encourages spending, and why saving feels like such a chore. But don't worry, I'll also share tips to flip the script and make savings not just possible, but rewarding. But first, let's talk about saving money and why my views differ from many of the experts out there. Some financial experts say saving money is a bad idea, that it's just sitting in a bank losing value because of inflation. They argue you should invest every spare dollar to make your money work for you. And while I agree that investing is powerful, here's the thing. I believe saving money is essential, especially as a foundation for financial stability. I can't tell you how many times my vehicles broke down when I was a single mom raising kids. It became a running joke, though it wasn't a very funny one, about how long it would take after a repair for something else to break. During those 20 years, I went through at least 8 to 10 different vehicles. And since I only ever had one at a time, we were left stranded whenever it broke down. And without a savings cushion, I was often forced to keep driving a car that barely worked or to just go without entirely. Finally reaching the point where I had a savings cushion was a huge breakthrough. It meant no longer being at the mercy of bad luck. I could afford to fix things when they broke, or actually buy a vehicle that wasn't falling apart in the first place. Having an emergency fund is more than just smart. It's empowering. It gives you the security to handle life's challenges without constant stress or worry. You're able to navigate the little curveballs without going into debt. It's not about hoarding every little penny. It's about balance. Saving money is your first step to gaining control and creating peace of mind. When you reach a certain level of financial stability, that's when you can shift your focus towards investments. That foundation of savings is crucial to start with. But let's be honest, saving money doesn't feel exciting. Spending, on the other hand, lights up the reward centers in our brain, giving us a little hit of dopamine every time we buy something. It's like our brain is wired to say, go for it now, while saving feels like a chore or even a punishment. This emotional pull is why it's so easy to justify splurging on a sale or buying that one little thing just to cheer yourself up after a tough day. But here's the catch. These short-term emotional decisions often overshadow the long-term logic of what's truly best for us financially. The disconnect between emotions and logic is one of the biggest hurdles when it comes to saving. Understanding how this works is the first step to overcoming it. Transitioning from emotional spending to intentional saving is possible, and it's not about denying yourself joy. It's about making decisions that bring you happiness in the long run. Your brain does not like discomfort. In fact, it actively resists anything that feels slightly uncomfortable. And saving money, it definitely falls into that category for most of us. Have you ever told yourself you'd save money, only to just watch it magically disappear by the end of the month? Saving money seems like a constant battle, and no amount of willpower can stop that because it's not your fault. Your brain is working against you in ways you might not even realize. Think about this. You walk into a store planning to buy just one item, but as you shop, you see a sign that says 70% off, today only. Suddenly, you're filling your cart with things you don't need. This is a classic example of anchoring bias. Your brain locks on to that initial information, the big discount, and convinces you it's a great deal, even if it wasn't part of your plan. Or maybe you avoid looking at your bank account altogether because it just feels too stressful. And that's called ostrich bias. You're not alone. Our brains are wired to avoid discomfort and chase rewards in the short term. The good news? You can outsmart your brain. The first step is to recognize these financial biases and create a system to counteract them. For example, set up automatic transfers to savings right after payday so your brain doesn't get a chance to spend that money impulsively. And if you avoid checking your finances, schedule one day a week to review them. It's less overwhelming when it becomes routine and gives you a chance to catch a problem early on before you blow your goal to save money. But here's the thing. Spending just feels exciting, almost like a mini celebration, while savings feels boring or even stressful. And why is that? Why do we feel like this when we truly want to save? When we truly want to have financial freedom? The answer lies in our brains. It's how our brains process rewards. When you spend money, especially on something you've been wanting, your brain treats it like a reward and releases dopamine, the feel-good chemical. So whether that's snagging a great deal or treating yourself to your favorite coffee, that quick hit of happiness feels so satisfying. But saving is a different story. It's about putting off an immediate reward for a future one. And since the reward isn't immediate or tangible, your brain doesn't light up the same way. There's no dopamine surge. There's no emotional win. In fact, savings can feel like a sacrifice, sometimes boring or restrictive, which makes it so easy to delay or avoid altogether. It's this chemical imbalance, the brain's tendency to reward spending with dopamine while offering no immediate feel-good response to savings, that makes saving feel like an uphill battle, even when we genuinely want to do it. Once you understand how your brain is sabotaging you, you can flip the script and take back control. Unfortunately, your brain is not the only thing that works against you. It's not just you. It's the world we live in. Think about what happens when you're scrolling through social media. How often do you see someone who posts about new cars, lavish vacations, and shopping hauls? This creates an unspoken pressure to keep up, even if it's subconscious. It adds to the narrative that spending is the norm, while saving feels out of place. Society glorifies spending, and the constant exposure to these highlight reels of extravagant lifestyles triggers FOMO, the fear of missing out. It's no wonder savings feels so isolating and unexciting. The key is to shift your focus. Start by curating your social media feed to include financial educators or savings challenges that inspire you. Replace those feelings of FOMO with empowerment and motivation. Now, I know saving money is not the most fun thing to do. It's kind of like getting your favorite treat, maybe a slice of cake or some of your favorite candy, and then putting it away to enjoy later. You know it's there, but you can't have it right now. It feels like you're depriving yourself in the moment. You know it'll be worth it later, but here's the twist. What if saving didn't have to feel like that? What if it didn't have to feel like deprivation? What if we could reframe it so that saving money feels just as satisfying as spending? After all, when you save, you're essentially buying yourself something even more valuable: peace of mind, stability, and the freedom to handle life's curveballs. You know how people love to brag about the things that they've bought? How often do you hear them celebrating how much they saved? Pretty close to never. Well, What if we flip the script? Imagine telling someone close to you, someone who genuinely supports your goals, about a major financial milestone like doubling your savings account or reaching that emergency fund target. Picture them cheering you on and celebrating that win with you just as much as if you'd bought a fancy new car. If other people can celebrate how much money they spend, why can't we celebrate how much we save? How much closer we are to reaching our financial goals? Let's normalize the celebration of progress toward our financial goals. Drop a yes in the comments if you agree. Let's start a new trend, cheering for our milestones of saving and making progress on our journey towards financial freedom. So instead of thinking of savings as something boring or restrictive, think of it as a way to reward your future self, like setting aside that delicious piece of cake to enjoy it at the perfect moment. Remember, saving doesn't mean you're missing out. It means you're giving yourself the freedom to live life on your terms. You can reprogram your brain to make saving feel just as rewarding as spending. And one way to do this is to make it fun, like a game. Use an app that shows your progress visually, like watching a savings bar fill up as you get closer to your goal. Personally, I've done this, and let me tell you, it's exciting to watch that progress of your savings grow. It even tempted me to add just a little extra to hit a milestone sooner. And that's a dopamine hit right there. Second, reframe savings as something exciting. Instead of focusing on what you're giving up, focus on what you're gaining. Peace of mind, freedom, a step closer to your dreams. When you connect savings to positive emotions, it stops feeling like a chore and starts becoming a habit that truly sticks. In the past 3 videos, we've been exploring the psychology and neuroscience behind money and digging into how our brains, emotions, and social pressures shape our spending and our savings habits. But here's the good news. We don't have to let these forces control our happiness or stand in the way of our journey to financial freedom. In the next video, we're going to take this journey one step further as I introduce you to my bias framework, a powerful tool to help you transform your bad money habits into ones that align with your goals. So if you haven't already, be sure to like this video and subscribe so you won't miss out on what's coming next. And if you've missed the first 2 videos in this series, click through to watch them and catch up on the insights you need to take control of your finances. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.